All right, we'll call this meeting to order. We have an agenda today, and the only thing on the agenda is the COVID-19 discussion. Sarah's in the building. She'll be up in a minute. She got trapped. Oh. We have an agenda today, and the only thing on the agenda is the COVID-19 discussion.
Go ahead. We have the YouTube video.
What's that? No.
We have the YouTube video open. That's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm just catching the 45-second delay.
All right, so I guess only thing on the agenda is the COVID, so I take a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor of the agenda, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Okay, here comes Sarah back down the hall right now. Anybody else got anything they want to input first? All right, Sarah, we are in session.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
going to turn it over to you.
I don't want it turned over to me.
I'm gonna move the mic over closer to you just to make sure we capture you. So this thing has issues with
He's all the same, kiddo. Well, they're all different.
No, just for you.
Oh, well, thank you.
So I know we keep changing these meeting times. On Friday, I think we should maybe go at 2:00, find a little bit of a balance because we have the 10 o'clock county meeting that took about an hour. And then we have the 11 o'clock,
I forgot about the 10 o'clock one.
the governor's conference. And then that took,
Ran over.
and then I had a whole bunch of phone calls and I'm scrambling then to hurry up and get up here by 1 o'clock. So
2 o'clock, okay, on Wednesdays and Fridays. You guys got any?
for sure on Friday. I don't care about
Let's
Wednesday, but
just move to 2 and let's try to stay consistent.
okay. Just give me a little bit of time to breathe so that I can throw the information together for you guys. What we've been, and I sent you all just an email. What we're constantly doing is when the governor talks and something changes, then we're hurrying up and we're scrambling because something that I brought up basically 2 weeks ago about the PPE is now coming to a head. And it's really easy for the governor's office to put us into a PPE shortage order directive. You got the long-term cares yesterday saying there's a PPE shortage. We got all these homemade masks, but now they're wanting us to add the surgical mask to that. Well, the production used to kind of be hospitals, doctor's offices. Did your people ever wear surgical masks? So your EMS people, your first responders, the long-term cares, none of these places even wore these surgical masks. Surgical masks is something that was produced in China that we could buy for anywhere from 10 to 25 cents a piece. So I sent you guys all this flow state marketing. We talked about this earlier. How do you know which company to trust on these pop-up emails? But you almost have to trust some of these companies because we have, somebody's opening something.
He's looking for something.
So somebody, we have to trust someone or we're going to get nothing. So this company right now, they are out of Denver. There are other counties that have received orders from this flow state marketing. Carrie and I were working with them because also the directive from the governor yesterday was to have businesses start doing what we're doing and temping their employees at the door. So this is something that we talked about. We put it into place. Carrie ordered 5 thermometers. We only got 3. Daryl has 7 thermometers on his list. We still have not in a week's time been able to find even 1 thermometer. Carrie is on the phone with this flow states marketing right now. And they are like, okay, well, we just got our hands on some infrared thermometers, but you literally have to be like, we will take those and we will buy those right now while you have the people on the phone with you. So I guess one of the things I would like to know is which of the 5 supervisors would like to be at a moment's notice phone call to help us make the decision if we should order something right now. I know that you put that into Carrie and my hands for ordering, but like on these masks. So these people, if you go to page 4, is it 3 of 8? So the pricing on these masks. So if we order, and that's the 3-ply on the right. So far I've been able to get N95s, but now the thing that everybody is wanting are these surgical masks. So that's the 3-ply on the right. So if we order 1,000, which trust me, goes nowhere. I got 2,000 of the surgical masks in on Monday, and those are already out the door with people saying, we want surgical masks. I ordered 4,000 yesterday from the state. I did just get a confirmation now from the state that I'm getting 4,000 on Saturday. So I'll be getting those, but see, I get them in and they're gonna go right out. The rules of the state are all of these agencies that I have on my spreadsheet can only tell me what they need on a 7-day supply. So everybody is working on a 7-day, week by week supply. I think that the state is getting some stuff in. As fast as it goes in, it gets divided, but there still is no guarantee. I ordered nitrile gloves. I'm getting vinyl, which is not latex. So they're subbing me for other things. So the order I'm getting on Saturday is pretty positive. I'm getting kind of what I requested. However, this announcement today makes me lean towards the state saying PPE shortage order. Does that mean they're also having trouble getting it in too? So if you look at the breakdown on those masks, if we order 10,000, again, I got 4,000 coming, but those are going to go right out the door because we just added all EMS and all long-term care, that it was okay for them to wear a homemade mask, but their state is now saying that they need to add the surgical mask inside of the mask. They're also saying that they can wear the homemade masks if we can't get the surgical masks with the face shields. Well, we've got 200. Carrie got a shipment. We got 200 of the face shields, hopefully shipping to us this week. And hopefully next week we will have made our own 100. We got those figured out. So
How many uses can you get out of those?
the ones we have at the library, we're hoping that it's several uses out of it. The piece of plastic that we're having Trophies Plus cut, we're thinking if we give somebody a face shield, we would give them like 2 of the plastic. If this one gets used up, they can snap it out. It's a pretty simple thing that we have figured
Will they
out.
handle the disinfectant? I mean, they're not so thin that.
It's
that
a
disinfectant.
page, it's a thicker page. It's like a book
Okay.
cover.
Only a thick one.
It's a 10 millimeter or the 7 millimeter thickness that we have figured out with Stones and Trophies Plus to be able to cut it with their laser cutter. I know people are using like a hand punch to cut them. We tried some of those over at the library. It's super tedious. You got to touch it. It's just putting more creases and fuzzies all over it. So if we can give them to Trophies Plus and they're able to laser cut 100 of them at a time, it just comes back to us. They're super simple, snap them on, and then we'll get them out the door.
Until
So
we get these in play and see how their cleaning issues
we have
are, the
no idea.
durability, we don't know yet until we get them out there.
Cleaning's gonna be trial and error. That's all it
Yes.
is.
Right.
yes,
Okay.
So I hit them with some Virex or some bleach and see how they stand up and go from there.
That's right. You
Yeah.
just don't know how that plastic can react.
we have no idea.
Yeah.
We literally just got it this morning. The guy from Trophies Plus came and got it from me. He went up to Brita. They're closed today. He did a trial one. He brought it back to the library. We popped it on and it looks good.
Okay.
So.
Good.
But so Carrie calls me and then she's like, well, how many do you want me to order? I don't know. It's like everybody can look at that and go, it's anybody's guess. I have no idea. You want Daryl to be the final person if we're ordering 100,000 of something? I feel like if this company is in Denver doing this and they're legit, I don't understand why the state isn't getting
Somebody
on
hasn't
board
locked in on them
for the
already.
million at the 56 cents. But it literally is, each county is vying for their own county's essentials. And it's anybody's guess as to how many we should buy because we don't know how many we're gonna get from the state.
It's all big turkey shoots. You don't know what we're gonna get.
It is. So.
So
how-
Sarah, what happened to the regions that we talked about where we were going to have everybody have an inventory of stuff that you can move things around?
Everybody has inventory, but nobody has surgical masks. So right now, the shortage is masks and face shields and gowns.
So are we working together with the regions to get some of this stuff bought up or not?
Well, I had reached out to Lynn Royer, who is in charge of our region, and I said, guidance on surgical gowns. Are you having any sort of leads on surgical gowns that you can buy for the region or that we should all individually be trying to purchase? And she said, good luck, no leads on surgical gowns. So I don't know how the state works. I don't know if this, like I told you, the price of this, and it's just this super simple, it's on the email I sent you, the blue and the white. It's just that super simple surgical gown or surgical mask. So I don't know if the state does things based on, okay, we will buy these if we can get a price for 40 cents or 50 cents because it was normally 25 cents. I have no idea how the state purchases things and what their baseline is to go, yep, million at 56 cents. That looks good to me. Get 10 million coming.
Okay, what does it take for our needs to do one fill? Everybody that has a request in for,
I put in 4,000 yesterday.
okay,
And that was before everybody, because everybody had told us their requests on Wednesday. Yesterday was a game changer. So then you got to call all those people back or get all those people to email you. Then all of those people are like, well, I'm okay for this week, but. So I have more agencies working on, give me your weekly, but the agencies go, well, that's hard to guess because right now we have no positive cases. If we would get a positive case or if we get a patient with RSV or something else, you're gonna burn through more.
Double
It's really
at
hard to
least.
calculate your burn rate if you're in lull land.
so you're thinking 10,000 would be enough?
I
To
will
get
have
us out of
gone
the
through
woods?
6,000 in 7 days.
6,000, 7 days, so 10,000 is basically a week supply and we're a ways out probably till we get them
Well, these people are shipping this week.
this week.
So real quick, Sarah, you're saying 6,000, is that they're going through them or these entities are saving up some for if and when we do receive COVID-19?
So with the new guidance this week, they want all long-term care. So you're talking
7 days.
everybody with the mask, with the surgical mask under that. You're gonna go through a lot more at your St. Anthony, your McFarland Clinic and your clinics because they're seeing patients. So they're gonna change it every single patient. With the conservation methods, they're telling these long-term cares to try to get one surgical mask under the homemade mask for an entire shift. This is all new territory for everyone. It is literally anybody's guess because these agencies have never done this before. Daryl's people have never done this before. So if he has an average of 56 calls a week, 2 to 3 people per call, we're not going to tell Daryl's people to wear the same surgical mask for an 8-hour shift. They're going to change it out after that call.
So even if we would get out of this situation in 3 weeks, we're probably still faced with a long-term residual going on at the extended care facilities, probably for another month or two at minimum.
People are canceling things in July.
Yeah, I mean, but
So I have-
they were very well could change the regs on them for forever.
Yes. There's no guidance on any of the timeline of this.
And that's just it. I think the world is gonna look a whole lot different, especially in your field, after this is over with. So
Sarah's right, no one knows what to do.
it's a,
Listen to everybody in their computers.
Well, one thing I was gonna say is these masks, they're not something that's gonna become worthless. We can always use them later on if we have to. So I guess I wouldn't be concerned if we ordered a few, we wound up with some extras around, but I don't want a whole ton of them neither. I mean, it's not like a something that's gonna expire over time.
So I talked to Lisa Corey at the hospital because I'm asking her, just give me a baseline price so that Carrie and I know what these things even should cost. So are we paying double the price? And she said that the surgical masks have always come out of China. It's something that they can buy that cheap, anywhere from 10 to 25 cents a piece, because it was manufactured there, but see, all of the factories were shut down. So nothing is exporting. I have no idea when the Chinese production will start back up. Will all that go to the national stockpile then and then get distributed to your still bigger states that are facing the higher numbers? No clue.
Well, I know a lot of California's getting a lot of their PPE directly from China right now. They bypass the federal because they can't get it. So they're going straight to China, and they are getting millions of PPE, masks primarily. Is this procurement for all entities? And when I say that, is it for nursing homes, the hospitals? Is it for all these? Are we buying for all these? Is that correct?
Well, everybody is told to go through the county emergency management coordinator with your 7-day needs supply.
Okay.
so
Well, then I would agree with Gene. I think, since we are procuring for everyone, we might as well look at big numbers, 100,000 sounds like a lot if you're paying $1 a piece, I mean.
At 100,000 rate, you're paying 61 cents, which is double-ish compared to buying them pre-pandemic days. So
You don't know exactly what it's going to cost you.
Yeah, Daryl, they're on the sheet. They're on page 3.
yeah, it cost you about 61 grand for 100,000.
If we buy 1,000, which we burned through 2,000 in 1 week, that's not the way to go. That's 95 cents. So those are closer to $1. But if we're in the 100,000 range, we're at 61 cents.
Okay.
And if you're going through 4,000 minimum right now with no cases,
Yeah, we have no
You're-
cases.
that you're talking 5 weeks and you'll be out again.
Yes,
And is this reimbursable to 85%?
yes.
And when we sell these, we're also going to recoup.
Yeah, if
That
we sell,
money
then we
back.
don't turn into the 85%, but exactly.
Right.
But
And we're just passing them off the cost. Whatever it costs us is what we're saying, right?
yeah, so I would just like one of the supervisors to be, who can we call anytime we run into this and just push it past just to get us somebody
A
else.
quicker response than waiting on 5 people to make a decision.
Well, and I'm only meeting with you 3 times a week. And
Right.
so if we have a lead on something, or something changes and we have to react quickly. Right now, Carrie and I are just, well, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Hey, Daryl, what do you think? What do you?
Well, I'm willing to be that person if the board wants me to be. But then again, it's a 5-person board, so we all need to be in agreement.
Well, I'm on the EMA board, so I could be on that as well. But I think probably Rich is the guy that he seems to be able to make himself available. And as long as you're willing to do that, Rich, I'm okay with you doing that.
And I'm okay.
I can text two of you at the same time too.
I'm gonna watch the numbers really hard because don't want to get over our 200, but I also know we'll get some of that money back. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm okay with playing the numbers game. I'm okay with that.
Well,
And
that's
if
what,
we have to have something signed, I can come in and sign it a lot quicker than most people can too, so.
and I agree with what Dean says. I think that the chairman should be the one in this position. And I'm sure you're gonna keep us informed and stuff like that. But there's some of these things are gonna come up where we're gonna have to make some split decisions. And we're just gonna have to hope we make the right one. That's all it's to it.
Well, when I was consulting with Graphic Edge on just the cotton mask for regular people, he thought if I ordered 12,000, do you think I will sell those? And I said, I absolutely think you will sell those. I hardly see anyone in the community with regular masks on. And he pulled the trigger on 12,000. He was a tad nervous and he put out a flyer for pre-orders and he sold 10,000 units in one day.
Yeah, I was amazed at that.
That's,
Yeah, and she just thought she was.
but who is it?
Mary.
Your wife?
No,
Or,
out to waste agency.
oh yeah,
They're
but
gonna want to be in
they're
the game
already
now too.
sold.
They want to be in the game now.
The 12,000 is already sold.
Okay,
He's got 18 more thousand coming. He's in a meeting, gonna call me because I said I want on the list for county. But again, how many do I order for the county that's just for regular people. This is healthcare people.
I know, and that's the way we want it.
But that's how quickly you have to decide something. Graphic Edge had them, boom, 12,000 gone, 18,000 more coming. Everybody's doing the pre-orders.
Well, these masks will last. If this ends tomorrow, we'll have 100,000 masks.
Yeah, that we
But-
just paid
but-
double the price and we get the 85% back off.
Right, and they'll last a long time.
So yeah, these aren't expiring.
No,
And I guess another thing that I'm gonna say is I don't see this thing going away very quickly as much as everybody wants this to be over. Until we get a vaccine, you know, I don't know that we're actually gonna leave the house very much until I can be vaccinated for this. I think it's gonna be an ongoing thing. I don't think it's gonna get over real quick.
yeah, and I think the general public may start going back to work a little bit, but like I said, I think the healthcare people going forward, they're gonna be in this quandrum for a long period of time, I see. I can see it going to the end of the year for them at least.
Do we have consensus on letting Rich be our contact person and ask him to order high because 85% is redeemable and they have a practically an indefinite shelf life?
Yep.
Is there anyone
I'm in
who
agreement.
has-
I'm okay.
I'm in agreement with that.
All right. Sounds good. That way, if something has to get signed, I can stop quick and do it, or Sarah can find me real easily too, so.
Courtney, do you want a motion to that effect or?
No, you guys have already approved the purchase of it. Now you're just kind of,
Putting another layer.
yeah.
Who I
You guys
can
are
call.
gonna- You guys will approve these when we actually go to pay them as a board. This is just kind of initially the actual order of it. And I know when you order them, you gotta pay for them, but you will approve payment. I don't think so. But if you feel more comfortable, it's not gonna hurt anything.
So then let's talk about the ones from Graphic Edge. Is that, so again, is that something that the county purchases and then everybody that's essential is working? We're going to take that next step and say, have your mask on? Are we gonna get, they're saying everybody should have 2 of all of these masks. We discussed it in the county meeting this morning that we are getting donations of homemade masks, but several of them are the wrong design. So the public health is gonna push that message out, that if the people are making the homemade masks, it needs to follow that public health specification and have the 3 pleats. So I guess the positive, and I'll send you a picture of it. The ones that are coming from Graphic Edge, and they were sold now, so the flyer doesn't even have that. Their new company is ASB Sports.
These be masks that we could have the county employees use once we are open again to the public.
Yeah, because we don't know what, if she brings, like she said, slowly dials everything up. Are we gonna, everybody be walking around with masks? But so is this something that we want to purchase for county employees that are working? $5 a person, they each would get 2. Because if so, I need to calculate that quickly to get on the next order of the 18,000. Or some other company, everybody is gobbling this stuff up.
Yeah. Well, there's a certain segment that, like the waste agency, these would probably function pretty well for them.
Yep.
Pretty well. And if they had a couple, 3 sets, I don't know if they have a launder machine there, but I mean, they can be thrown in a pile
Yeah, I think you
and
just
someone
take them home.
can take them home and clean them.
Yeah. You just throw them in with your laundry.
So, and that's something that could be done here too. We have a revolving pool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and obviously we wouldn't need to worry about like ambulance deliveries, because they're gonna be taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, every pay period we have between 120 and 138 that we're paying.
Will these work for like Megan to go on house visits
Well,
or anything like that?
So Megan is in the group that everybody, it's directed to use some sort of homemade or
Okay,
N95, but then they're also putting that surgical mask
so she would fit in
underneath
that
it. Yes.
category.
But Megan would fit in the category. She's trying to get homemade ones right now.
Okay.
And that's even hard to find right now. These homemade ones are even made correctly. So yes, we were thinking you give Megan's 20, 2 face masks, a homemade face shield, and some surgical masks, and say conserve, conserve, conserve.
Make these work. And if they have the mask and the homemade one, they can get by that day.
Yes.
And then if the next day, if they have the surgical mask, they can get by.
Yes,
that
and
way.
if they run out of the surgical mask, they're saying the homemade mask with the face shield.
Okay.
If you ever get more UV lights, we can decon those
Trust
too.
me.
I know
So-
you're trying, but
We're-
that's just
So
what it
a
is.
couple hundred of these, 500 of these?
Well, if
What's your
we-
number?
So it's county employees should probably
We got
be doing 2.
so there's 100. 200, yeah, 3 to be on the conservative side.
We're getting into seasonal or conservation masks, that might be different, but usually they have seasonal. Part-timers.
Yeah.
Ads, but,
They still gotta, be out there mowing.
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
but yeah.
And it's mainly for, like, if you're out there mowing, it's mainly for when you then come in contact
Zick
with,
With
yeah,
somebody.
yep.
Okay.
So they don't have to wear these when they're mowing. This is just a,
Okay.
like the DMAC, Joel Lundstrom talked this morning. DMAC was trying to get their hands on 6,000 of them to hand them out as a community service. If they see people at the grocery store that don't have them, hey, this is the direction we're trying to go with, making sure everybody has these masks. They're just trying to make them readily available if Graphic Edge can get them in at that good price.
This is my opinion. I think we should go at least 300 of them. Try to get them from them. It's a different source. The money stays kind of local, so it does help out the local area a little bit too. That's just my opinion. I do the 300. I don't know unless you guys think we should do 4 or a different number, but I would think 3 would get us a couple rounds on each employee.
And are we giving everybody 2? Obviously Dallas had somebody make him some. Is it we're getting them in for the employees to buy, or we're getting them in to distribute to all of the employees?
So you're talking about the homemade masks? Is that what we're talking about now?
No, the black ones from the Graphic Edge, the ASB
Oh.
Sports. Several businesses are grabbing them from the Graphic Edge to give to their employees.
I think we should unless they have their own, they don't want.
It's,
You know, if they have something that they already have, that's fine, but if they.
I kind of look like it as safety equipment. Keeps them from burning up, sick leave, and causing other issues too, workforce shortages. And it's about $750 worth of insurance is what it is.
I don't think it's a bad idea at all. And we need it, yeah, like you say, we protect them and probably save other issues down the line.
Try to launder them, just come with a set of instructions on how quick every other day or every day, or change mask and launder one and just keep rotating them back and forth. Will they work
Well, that way,
Daryl?
when our employees are going to the grocery store, Walmart, wherever, we're encouraging the wearing of that mask in public.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's just another layer of keeping the essential workforce safe, that the guidance is coming from the county officials.
Okay, I think we should get 300 of them. That's just my opinion. You guys,
I'm okay with that.
So am I.
Go for
and I'm thinking 100,000 masks is what I'm thinking.
Sounds good.
Carrie just messaged me. Obviously, we do not have credit of $61,000 on our credit card, so she hasn't messaged me. So that's the next step we got to work through.
Will they work bank drafts?
I don't know. I'm not. She's
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
saying
that'd be a question that
we have to pay up front. She just messaged.
Can we do that?
It'd be good to do it on a credit card. Then we got some protection from the credit card company.
She
Yeah.
just messaged, we
I know.
have to pay up front.
You have to pay up front.
Was
But
isn't
we
credit
don't have
card
that
paid
kind
up
of
front?
credit line. We don't have that much credit line.
Well, I think a phone call can get that changed, can it?
Is it a local credit card?
Yeah, we just upped them.
Do you know what? Why don't we have Courtney increase hers?
I'm not gonna increase mine because that is different.
Oh.
Carroll and Carrie and Sarah are all at Duke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Basically pretty easy. Mine is credit out.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were all in the same spot. And just that way you'd get better control of, because you'd see it.
Mhm.
And we will still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Carrie and I will work on,
And I'm okay if you want to move. Daryl, do you want to be in part of ordering this stuff too, or? Okay,
yep,
okay.
yep. He just didn't want to increase his credit lines. So we increased Carrie and my credit lines, so,
Okay.
but.
All right.
We did not have this problem yesterday, by the way.
We could do, I mean, we have some vendors, we have to do like a bank draft.
Mhm.
They, or they automatically take it out. No, the treasurer and I'm not happy with people coming and take. But if I'm initiating it, and going in and I'm putting the routing number, I'm putting the account number in, and they're pulling it,
Mhm,
that's, we can talk to Gene about. that
Like an
too.
ACH type thing.
mhm.
Okay, we'll visit with Gene and see what the possibilities are there. As long as we have good control over it.
Well, that's why I thought if you guys increase your credit card, there's some protections.
Yeah.
Through the credit card company.
Well, we're driving to Denver, right?
Well, it's an automatic 14-day quarantine. Who wants to go to Denver?
I got a rate we can take.
Not I.
We go out of the way, so it's like,
Yeah. Turn on the lights and away we go. All right, next subject. Anything else?
I don't know what the next subject is. It changes daily.
So the cases in Crawford County, because they had quite a few in one day, is that being said it's at like one location, or is it?
Can you move the mic a little bit to hear Courtney a little more clearly? Sorry.
That's all right. I just asked her, I'd heard Crawford County had some additional cases and I was just wondering if she'd heard, was that like at one workplace or is this just different individuals that have gotten sick or?
It was, you just hear,
Okay,
Crawford County, unless it would be like all of the cases are in this long-term care. It's been said that it's at Smithfield, but I've never seen a confirmation on that, you know. So I would need to speculate on that. I think that maybe a few are related to that, then others are related to something else, just random.
okay.
So Sarah, are gloves hard to get?
So gloves are on allocation. So the places that were getting gloves, they're still being able to get their gloves shipped in. It does seem like there may be a bigger shortage on the nitrile gloves, which Daryl may know what nitrile is versus non-latex. So non-latex is vinyl, and then you have latex. So I order nitrile. I sometimes get a few nitrile, but then they'll sub the rest with vinyl, and then they'll sub the rest with latex. But most agencies do not want the latex gloves.
So how many, when you talk about you're getting some, how many are you talking?
I've been able to get all the gloves that I've requested so far, and I have not
Okay.
heard of glove shortages. I just heard that the gloves are on allocation. Like if Daryl always orders 5 cases of gloves a week or whatever, he's gonna get his 5 cases a week. We've not heard any sort of situation like the face shields and the surgical masks and the gowns on the gloves yet.
My order place has been out of stock, but we still have been able to get them, you know, instead of the 2-3 days later, a week or two later.
Yeah, so
We don't know how long that'll last either.
Okay, so can the vinyl be substituted in where the people are just taking temps?
yeah, or the
And-
latex.
The latex
Yes.
and then good ones for.
Yes. So latex gloves can be used by anybody that doesn't have latex allergy. Just
So-
in the medical world, they don't know if people have a latex allergy, so then they always tend to lean towards the non-latex.
So when they put the request in, if they would put down for taking temps, then you know you could substitute
Yes,
them in.
and
That
law
would be helpful.
enforcement, I had some law enforcement reach out for gloves and I gave them latex. So I
Those would be
consulted
helpful.
Daryl on that, saying, yeah,
Very good.
Well, I was gonna say, I bought some nitrile gloves at Baumgart's last week. So there can't be much of a shortage if the
Yeah.
local retail outlets have them.
and we're able to buy nitrile gloves with the school too, through the food service. So there's like medical grade, and then there's food grade, and then there must be like work in your garden grade. So I had asked that question, if the nitrile medical grade is out, can you substitute food service worker grade? And they said it just has not gone through as many rigorous testing for, is it holes
For
or?
holes, they'll carry easier and there's gotta be holes in those than there are in the medical ones.
So the
So they feel
nitrile,
bugs can get through.
yeah, the nitrile medical ones are just at a higher grade to keep your medical workers safe from what they're dealing with versus if you're just prepping food or something else. So I think it's the medical grade that's
Okay,
the issue.
They're also a thicker mill as well.
Yeah. They are.
While we're on these subjects, and this is people that we're adding in to getting gloves and gowns and masks, are they also getting training on how to put them on and take them off?
All the agencies said that they were doing the training on
Okay.
the gloves.
I
So.
mean, because that's a very important part too.
So an update on the gowns, we're no further on the gowns than we were. We did reach out to the Trophies Plus. I don't know if Rich wants to work on this a little bit more. They came back to us with a price of $40 per gown. So they were going to make 10 gowns for $400. Public Health and I both said no to that. We were getting a little bit of a hesitancy from the agencies too, they want a gown to wear a gown, but then the washable ones are still not preferred. They prefer the disposable ones, but then I guess we didn't think that the county should be in the business of procuring a $40 gown. I guess if that agency decides to go with that, then they would order, we would want 10 in the extra large and 10 in the large size. And then that agency could commit to working with Trophies Plus and making that agency those gowns.
So they wanted $40 a gown to make them, because we were supposed to provide the material, correct?
Yes, so that conversation changed.
That's almost probably $50 a gallon, probably.
Yeah, they made some and they donated some to the Manning Regional Healthcare Center, but I don't know if it was like they were just kind of trying out patterns to kind of get down what they were gonna do. And then when they got back to Sarah Schulte of Public Health yesterday, they told us it would be $40 a piece for 10 gowns, and the quote was $400. So I was in her office when that came through, and we both decided to tell them, no, thank you at this time.
It'd be cheaper to go to Baumgart's and buy coveralls.
The cheaper ones, yeah.
So
Right?
we have not done anything. I requested gowns, and I'm getting some from the National Guard on Saturday. The governor stated that the Department of Corrections will be up to 1,000 gowns a day. But her press conference seemed like those were washable again. Did you guys listen to that? She stated that the Department of Corrections were going to be producing 1,000 gowns a day, but they were the reusable, the rewashable.
So if we wanted some of those, we had to purchase those as well? Is that
No,
correct?
if we request gowns from the state, and I don't know if they are putting those in a package. I think that's a brand new thing from the state. So then I would guess you're just gonna get them and they're gonna say rewashable, reusable gown. I think that's a new item that they just figured out this week with the Department of Corrections. So, I mean, if you're gonna request gowns and they're out of the disposable ones, because the ones on the list right now with the state are called surgical gowns. That's what they're listed as. It doesn't say anything except surgical gowns. So I don't know if they're gonna add those to the list as washable gowns, and then you can request those. But that was what she had mentioned on our press conference today. She posted on her Facebook page that John Deere in Illinois, Moline, Illinois, is really pushing out the face mask. But they created 25,000 this week, and they're gonna push out another 100,000 next week. But I read the entire article, and it said that those were all spoken for in 8 different states, and they were currently not taking any other orders for the face masks, but they are on schedule to make 100,000 next week and another 100,000 the following week. But after that, they were not able to find the plastic for the front part of the shield.
That'll be the next final.
So I don't know if that, again, if we order face masks, those would be the ones from John Deere that are coming on Saturday. I won't know till I get it. It gives you no brands, no specifics. It says face masks, 192 confirmed order. So I have no idea what I'm getting.
So gowns and face masks are still combination.
That is kind of like figured out locally. With the surgical masks now figured out locally, what you want to do.
There was a gal, you guys mentioned something about over in Arcadia.
West side,
West side, maybe, yeah.
one at a time.
And what was her cost?
She just was gonna do it.
if we can find
Sarah's working
material.
with her at Public Health.
Material.
Yep.
might
And
be
she
able-
found some material.
Okay.
So Sarah.
So can you order the Department of Corrections gowns at all, Sarah? Can you get those?
They're not on my list yet. Like I said, the list is very generic and it says surgical gown. So the ones that we had received on Monday were in a package. And it was like what Daryl would have ordered from a regular place. My order for Saturday, I have no idea, it says surgical gowns. They have not added a new line that says rewashable gown. So I'm waiting to see what, usually when she puts something out, then we'll get an email explaining what she said regarding that. So I don't know.
Well, the gowns coming from the Department of Corrections are basically the same thing that Trophies Plus would be making, correct?
I'm assuming, because she said they would need to be rewashed and reused.
And so why wouldn't we forego even the lady at Westside, unless we're getting them very cheap, forego the Trophies Plus and put in an order with the Department of Corrections and try to get those.
I think we'll see what she gets on Saturday, and that'll be the hint then.
Yeah.
Because if we do get shipped some of those, then we'll just keep ordering them that way.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
we'll maybe get some of each, and that's how they're gonna fill the order. I don't know. Maybe we'll get 190, some of, that's all we get.
I think it was just something she was announcing that they had gotten figured out this week with the Department of Corrections, and then they were gonna ramp it up to 1,000 a day, so. So yes, anything we get from the state, obviously, on the state's dime, because the state already received their first check for 44 million from the federal government to keep buying PPE and keep shipping it out. So I'm always doing that avenue of orders in and seeing what we can get that way.
Okay.
There's just no guarantee ever. You can put in an order and get nothing, so.
Hey, if you guys know somebody, some other supervisor, some other county, reach out to them and see if they've solved their gown issue. Just for the heck of it, they're probably all in the same boat, but let's find out. It's worth a reach out. Especially,
What are those gowns costing us from Westside?
The lady was she had just sewn her first one this week, and she was just making them for Sarah Schulte at Public Health.
I think if you gave her the material and the material to make it, it was kind of a free will gesture, but she's a one person operation.
Yes.
And I understand that, but at least it's an additional gown or two
That's
that
right.
we can maybe get.
If she gets 10 a week, that's 10 more than we had. That's right, Gene.
But if they're pretty well for a little or nothing, I'd say let her continue on.
But it's how gowns would be used, because we talked to Megan Owen about that day, and she said, so are my people supposed to wear the same gown all day long and then wash it every night, or are my people supposed to have 5 gowns each? Rewashable, yes, but is Megan's people supposed to be changing the gown if I go see Rich, and then I see Daryl, and then I see Jason, so I'm one of Megan's 20 people, and I need 3 gowns.
If it's a fabric gown, what difference does it make if they don't change it?
Exactly, that's what Megan said. So if Megan doesn't have enough gowns for every aide, multiple people, minimum 5 visits a day. So Megan said I would need a minimum of 100 rewashable gowns to go down that route.
Yep. But she's gonna go through the disposal just as fast. And those are the ones we really need in different places. Boy, we're in a rock and hard spot.
So maybe with the Department of Corrections ones, they get certain ones of these facilities set up though, that they do get 100 rewashable gowns for the 20 people they have, and they're just working on one agency, one long-term care at a time, the washable gown ways, because they're able to produce 7,000 a week.
Yeah, you know, you think, she needs, we just said she needs 100, you can take care of 70 agents, like that.
Yes.
So eventually,
So,
you start to make some dents.
yes, at least they're doing something with the small groups. And then the disposable ones are going to your hospitals and your doctor's offices that are actually seeing the patients. But the reusable gowns are going to protect them while there's little to no activity in that nursing home facility, so.
Well, that's one we just keep hammering on, it just keeps trying to poke our nose here and there and see what we can find.
Yep. And every time I talk to any of them, I conserve, you know, the guidance from the Iowa Department of Public Health to these agencies too is don't use your disposable stuff until you see more activity in your facility. So hopefully, if we are getting it in, it's being conserved, because I mean, Darrell can't conserve, they've got a call, they use it,
It's gotta be
it's
what's
gotta
gotta
go, yeah, so.
I'm telling everybody, try to do their best to save the seats. And they're in 95s they can save, and then the next morning we put them in that one rig you're not using right away, and we'll UV light them all.
Yeah.
So we're trying to conserve that way now.
Yeah.
And if, like I told Ken, if he's got masks that need cleaned out, bring them down, and we can do them too.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to
Yeah,
them.
that makes sense.
Darrell's UV light is like gold right now.
Wish we had 2 of them.
There's several agencies that have called us about UV lights, and it's just one of those things that if people had an extra $500 laying around,
Here we go.
knowing what we know now, everybody would have a UV light, because you can at least
Yeah.
put the mask under it and get some more usage out of them, so.
And I assume that UV light is not just like every other UV light. It's a little different.
Yeah.
But
Has a
there's
certain,
a business in somewhere in Iowa that are taking Oster toaster ovens and gutting them and putting UV lights in it, and then creating these little individual Oster toaster oven. And they bought up every single Oster toaster oven you can find, putting in the UV lights and then reselling them out or giving them away to healthcare facilities.
any other subject? You guys got anything else? Courtney, do you have anything else? Daryl? Jason? Okay. Dalton? You okay?
Here's just a thought, and I don't know if anybody's thought of this, but it's with the salons closed, they use those UV lights to disinfect their tools. Have we looked at, are those effective, and would those be potentially used?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I never go to a salon.
That's a good question. Daryl says he doesn't know that. Can somebody find that out or dig into that?
Fine.
Well, that kind of, that's a good point, Stephanie. I mean, but how does the hospital, sterilize their surgical instruments? And then we gave them, we're letting you use one of our ultraviolet light units right now. I mean, how do they sterilize theirs?
I don't know how the autoclave works. Most of their surgical instruments, the hospital now sends them out to get cleaned somewhere else, because it's cheaper for them to send them out, have somebody else clean them, package them, and bring them back, than was for them to do it themselves.
So is that the same way with the dentist office as well?
That I have no idea.
When we originally purchased the UV lights, it was when they talked about all the germs being on the cell phones and on, so like Daryl's people coming in or some Ebola, they just told us germs in general.
Germs in general.
To have your people run through the UV light, your cell phone, your baseball cap, your badges. So when they're coming in off the street to go to work, you have them kind of walk through the UV light, and then when they leave their job, then they go through. Because the ones we got, Carroll, are able to do the entire inside of the ambulance.
Yeah, they're for small rooms. And
Or a small room. So you set up this UV light in the small room, and like Daryl said, with him in the hospital reusing the masks, they just put the masks out in this room, and then the UV light allows them to reuse the masks.
But Dean, to your question on dentists, I think they're the same way. I think that stuff all gets shipped out and then brought back all pre-packaged up.
I don't have anything more.
Okay. I guess we'll go for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Hi.
Neil, I'm gonna give you a call in a little bit, Neil.